17-year-old Mount Alvernia High School student Tiana Dinham made history recently, being the first Jamaican student to cop the Robertson Scholarship, tenable at a U.S.-based institution. She joins us now to tell us about some of the other scholarships awarded to her at other universities. We want to talk about much more than that. Tiana, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I am good. How are you?
I am very well. Congratulations to you, madam. How does it feel to have been accepted to so many universities?
It is honestly such a surreal experience. I would have never imagined that I would have been in this position at the end of the application season, especially being just a rural girl from Hanover. So it was really like mind-blowing just waking up and knowing that I had these opportunities, ones that I personally never envisioned for myself. But I was just working towards it, not knowing if it would be possible.
Yeah, but you're a high achiever. You've been doing really well in school. I'm reading here that you have 16 subjects administered by the Caribbean Examination Council. 12 at CSEC, 4 at Cape.
That is correct.
Okay, wow. But still, you're applying for these scholarships and you said you were intimidated in applying.
Yes, I was, because I'm just a little country girl from Hanover. So I never believed that I had the shot to actually get into these places, much less get these full ride scholarship to these prestigious U.S. universities.
We're talking about Barry University, Lynn University, McGill University, Wingate, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Dartmouth, Washington and Lee University, University of British Columbia, Emory, Duke Conshan, University of Toronto, Scarborough campus, Mississauga, and St. George's campus. I mean, how did you know when all of these acceptance letters came in and then these full ride scholarships, were you overwhelmed?
I was, because I was like, oh my God, they're actually taking a shot. You're giving me a shot. And I was like, how am I going to pick between these universities who saw my potential and were willing to work with me? How would I turn one down when I was legit begging them to give me the opportunity? So it was a very difficult situation, because I was like, I don't want to pass up an opportunity, but I can't attend all these universities.
How did you decide eventually which one you were going to choose?
I attended the Robertson Connection weekend in April. And when I was there on campus at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, as well as Duke University, I felt at home. Like the community, the Robertson community was one of a kind. Like I could see myself being there and actually learning something new that I could later come home and implement into our Jamaican society. So it was just being there and just feeling like I was seen. Like if I wanted to have a conversation with anyone, I did not feel like I did not belong there, that I was an international student who did not belong in the United States. I was seen, I was heard, and I just felt at home.
That's fantastic. We want to talk about what a full ride scholarship means, but I want to talk to you about this desire you've always had to like explore and see the world and outside of Jamaica. Tell me about that drive.
I've always felt like I should broaden my horizon. My mom always told me that don't limit yourself, because if you put yourself in a box, how will you escape it? So aim for the sky and just see what happens. So I always had the mentality that I should kind of move outside of my comfort zone to see what else I can learn about myself and learn about how I can later help the Jamaican society. So even when I was applying to high school, I made the decision not to apply to any high school in my parish, but I only applied to high school in St. James. So from a young age, I always wanted to see like different sides to the spectrum. So I made a decision that I wanted to apply to overseas school, because I wanted to see what was life over there and what were the things that they were doing to eradicate certain problems that we in the Jamaican society were experiencing. So I made a decision to just apply, see what I could learn, and later come home to implement them. So that has always been like my driving factor, just seeing the different sides of the spectrum to see what I personally could learn and later implement.
Fantastic. We hear a lot of young people talking about leaving. Some of them we don't hear talking about coming back. So it's good to hear you say you actually want to come back and help to build Jamaica based on what you gain at
Yes.
university. And a full ride scholarship now means, does that mean that everything is paid for the entire stay of your study?
Yes, it is. So I get full tuition, room board, and the Robertson Scholarship also gives me 3 summer experiences. So if I want to, like, let's say, go to Egypt to study, one
Wow.
summer, do a summer project, they will pay for that. I also get 2 semesters abroad. So during the year, if I choose to attend, like, to go to a different university in, let's say, Europe, I have that opportunity as well. And I am also a Duke student as well. So I have the full resources of the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, as well as Duke University in North Carolina. So I'm a student of both universities through the scholarship.
Tiana, you have won the university lotto.
Yes, it is certainly surreal that I even had that opportunity, because let me tell you, getting that scholarship was a lot of work because I had to go through 3 interview rounds. Like, I had to do an asynchronous prompt where I answered like a moral dilemma question. And
Wow.
let me tell you, that question was extremely hard
What was the
because there
question?
was
What was the
no,
question?
the question was like, I'm a captain of a ship. The ship is sinking. Who am I going to save? I have 3,000 passengers, only 1,000 space. How would I prioritize who would go on the lifeboats? And let me tell you, that question, like, it had you sitting and you had like 3 minutes to answer it. Like 3 minutes to think about it, 3 minutes to
We
answer it.
don't have
No
three
time
minutes,
to.
but you got to tell me what you said.
I said, like, I would save the kids, the pregnant women, I would save the teenagers, and I would try to save at least one family member per child. Because a thing that I thought about was that if we even save the kids, who would take care of them when they reach back to coast? So I said I would save one family member per child. And then if I still had space, I would save from like 20 to 40, but I would choose the persons who there was no one else on the lifeboat for them. Like, there was no kid, no pregnant woman who traveled with them. So I'd try to save those people. And if I still had people, I'll just randomly select. So it was
Wow.
fast thinking.
Tiana said 20 to 40, you know, who dead like dog from the boat. I'm
Yeah,
going down in that boat.
yeah. And
Wow.
I
Okay. Well
experienced
reasoned.
that.
Well reasoned. Well reasoned. And so, what is your ultimate aim, my love? What are you going to study? What's your major going to be? And what is your hope when you grow up? You know.
Yeah. So I'm planning on studying health policy and management, but I'm also a chemistry major. My hope for the future is that I will have the resources to actually implement like remote clinics or hospitals around the world to provide like state of the art healthcare for persons who can't afford it. So regardless of your socioeconomic class or and everything, I would provide like state of the art healthcare to you. So that's the end goal, just to open like clinics and hospitals in like remote areas.
Wow. What a breath of fresh air you are. At 17, 17, right?
Yes, I'm
Um,
18.
if there is another young person watching who is your age or even younger with goals and aspirations who may feel like I can't aspire to this because this is bigger than me, which is how you felt when you were applying, right? I can't do
Yes.
this. I'm just a little country girl, which is what you said. But here you are basking and reveling in the success of knowing that you are better than you even thought you were. What would you say to that young? As a matter of fact, to anybody, because there are older folks too who grapple with imposter syndrome. So what would you
Yeah.
say to anybody struggling with something, has a goal, afraid to go towards it?
Personally, I just want to remind that person that don't limit yourself. If you have a goal, just work for it. Don't put yourself in any box or say that I can't apply to this school because I'm not going to get in. I can't get this job because I'm not qualified. Just do the work to put yourself in the best position. Like, when I was applying to these schools, I wondered if I was wasting my time because there was no way I was going to get into the University of North Carolina or even Dartmouth College, which is an Ivy League. And I sat down, I wrote my essays, and I'm like, wonder if I'm wasting my time because it was a lot. It got a lot at a certain point. But I just want to remind this person that you know your potential, you know your end goal. And don't put yourself in a box. Just try to work hard and remember your self-worth, because at the end of the day, you are your biggest support. And if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will see you. No one else will see your potential to rally behind of you and support you. And also get a good support system, because like my family and my friends have been like the driving factor. Every time I felt like maybe this is not worth my effort, they're the persons behind of me, like, Tiana, you can do this. Tiana, you got this. Even when I needed help to write essays, 3 a.m. in the morning, I had this friend, her name is Saraya. She would be up with me on the phone, helping me to edit these essays and everything. Just remember what you're aiming for, and don't put yourself to meet like societal expectations. Dream big and dream broad.
Aye.
So that's just like my little tip.
Aye. Received. Thank you, madam, for that word. Tiana, wise beyond her years. And yes, Tiana, you got this. Your family is right. All the best from all Jamaica. When do you leave for school?
I leave on the 26th of July.
All right, my love. All the best to you and all our love to you. We know you're going to make us really, really proud. You already have. Still to come.
Thank you.
Self-taught artist by Baby Girl. Artist Roxroy Hutchinson showcases his work. But first, we have news in 5.